I hate the riding position of my 2022 Harley Davidson Street Bob, so today we're going to see if we can fix that with our LePera Kickflip Seat. All right, everybody, what is up? What is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. Today, we're taking a look at the LePera Kickflip Seat I have here. We're going to replace out this old stock seat. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the riding position on the Harley Street Bob so far. I feel like it crunches my hips a little bit. It drives my knees up a little bit higher. So we're going to see if the Kickflip Seat can help us out, getting that comfortable riding position just a little bit better. And hey, if not, I still like the look of it better than what we have going on with the stock seat here. So it is kind of interesting. I've heard a lot of the similar common complaints for people. They feel like their knees are up too high. It feels like they're kind of sinking down into the seat a little bit, into the frame. And I definitely 100% agree with that. I do have a Saddleman step up on my Sportster, of course, but I wanted to switch this one up, give LePera a shot and see how we go. I already know I'm going to love the style of it, but we'll see how the comfort goes and how it fixes up this riding position as well. So first, I do want to hop on and give you guys a look from the side of what I'm kind of talking about here. See if you can kind of see what I'm talking about with my knees when I put my knee up. Give this a little shot, a little look from the side profile where my arms are. They're a little bit reached out too. I did pull these bars back. So we're seeing here with the knees, we're going to do a comparison. So here's where my knee is now. Like I said, it just feels like it's up a little bit too high. See how that looks from the side profile shot. I'm going to swap out the kickflip, see if we can notice any difference there. So of course we are going to pop this thing on. We're going to give a first ride and first impressions of this thing out on the road once we put it on. But obviously we've got it opened up here, pretty good quality from what I've noticed so far. Obviously we've got the felt underneath to protect the frame and all the parts it's going to touch. You do have to pop on the little tab here where we're going to be able to attach it to the rear fender, keep it locked in. Does not come with this on it. I already did that. Didn't feel like showing you guys that. Didn't feel like it was too important. Everybody knows how to do that. But anyways, yeah, first impressions, taking it out of the box, looks pretty good. I went with the basket weave on the front. They do obviously have all the different options that you can get. I just like simple, plain looking. I don't like the tuck and roll. Didn't like some of those other ones. I just like the simple, plain look of the basket weave. So let me know what you guys think about LePera so far. If anybody out there is working with them or buying their seats, let me know what you guys think of them. Let me know what you think of the kickflip if you have it on any of your bikes. Alrighty, so obviously first thing we got to do is remove these old parts of the stock seat. These are just simple twist off. I already had them loosened up just a little bit. So we got the back off. Take this middle connector out. Alright, we got the passenger pillion removed. And then we've got the front removed. Of course, guys, everybody knows a seat is pretty much one of the most simple installs you can do. Typically have your tabs up front, and then you're basically just locking it in to the back here. Alrighty, so we're going to find this tab here, get it underneath that lip. Alright, looks like we're going to fit back there. We'll get the screw, tighten it down, and that's it. Alrighty, so there we go. I do have it hand tight for now. We'll probably take a wrench to it later just to be sure, but we'll go hand tight just for now. Give it a little pull, make sure she's all settled in there. Feels good and tight and stable. Alrighty, so there we have it. The kickflip seat is on. Let's get a first look at it, first impressions. Obviously, we all know the kickflip seats have that little step up, the backrest there. Looks pretty good. I like the little LePera insignia here. Looks pretty good, fits perfectly right in line with the frame. I just love the profile that it gives from the side. Let me know what you're thinking about this new look here of the Street Bob with the LePera kickflip seat so far. Give it a couple angles of the look here. Really just love what it does to the overall lines of the bike. Obviously the functionality as well. Hopefully expecting that to be a little more comfortable up front. And then of course locking you into place with all this power of the 114 motor right there. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. Alrighty, so here we go. First impressions. We are going to take an initial seat on this bad boy. Okay. Alrighty, so we are seated, and I think I can definitely initially tell I'm a little higher. My feet are definitely kind of on the balls of my feet so far. Let's put a foot up on the peg, and wow, okay. Definitely a lot less flexion in the hip right here, which is what I was looking for. I can tell as soon as I hopped on here through a leg over, I was usually perfectly just right flat-footed. Now I'm just heels up just a tad. So you can see my heels are probably up just a tad as I drop my feet down right here. Let's throw the foot up again, and yeah, I got a lot more clearance here with my hip. It'd be interesting to see these side-to-side shots once we have them. Definitely feel like with the stock seat, my knee was definitely elevated a little bit more, putting a little more pressure on the hip, like I said. But this feels pretty good. So what we are going to do now, I'm going to hop on this thing, start it up, take it for a little ride down the road, get some more initial first impressions of this kickflip seat. Alrighty, so we are on the bike now. Got a few trips around the block on the seat. Now, first things and first impressions that I'm noticing, obviously brand new seat, definitely pretty stiff right now. So I know that's pretty expected with these brand new seats and the materials they use. So I think that's a given. I think that's an obvious. These things usually take, from what I hear, about 500 miles to break in. That's what my Saddleman was. Next first impressions is I definitely think we achieved what I was looking for as far as raising me up a little bit. So my hip definitely feels much more comfortable. My knees are not as high. They used to almost be like in line to above the tank. Now you can see they're a little bit below the tank, which is exactly what I was looking for with this seat to do. I feel much less stress within my hips right now, which is exactly what I wanted. Next thing, obviously, is I feel much more in control. Like I said, you've got the back step up that really locks you into place. I also feel much more kind of like gripped into the seat, if that makes any sense. That stock seat was a little slippery and slidey, and I felt like I would kind of slide around a little bit on it. So let's open her up around this turn just a little bit here. Oh yeah. Oh man, before with no fairing up here and everything like that, I felt like I was literally gonna fly off the seat when I would open it up around a little bit of an angled turn like that. But wow, that, I mean, you're just locked right into place. I think this is actually gonna help the handling a lot as well. Now, one thing to consider too while we're at a stop here, one thing you guys might want to think about is the seat is wider. So it's actually pushing my hips out a little bit, which might take you some time to get used to when you're at a stop like this. But nothing too major from that perspective. I mean, it's just going to spread your legs out just a little bit farther over the stock seat. No big deal there. Wow, yeah, as far as the ride and the handling with this seat, it just feels so much better. I already had a lot of confidence with the bike, but now that you're really locked in place, it even gives you even more confidence. Now, another thing that I will say here is I do feel like the seat has slid me back a little bit further. That might also have to do with why my hip crease is opened up a little bit, but now the thing to take into consideration is I'm shorter, I got shorter arms. I feel like it did increase the reach to the bars for me, which was kind of a problem at first. I had to pull them back towards me a little bit when I first got it, so I pulled them and rolled the bars back a little bit. Now that I'm sitting back a little bit further, I can feel even more reach. That might not be as big of an issue once we maybe potentially get like a windscreen up here, if that's blocking some of that, not pulling me back as far as it feels like it does. But again, just another thing to consider. This is going to feel like it's going to increase your reach a little bit. You're going to have to reach a little bit farther. So we're going to pull over here along the lovely Schuylkill River, get my last final impressions here of the bike. So let's give another look at the seat here off the bike. This will give you guys a really good profile of what it's going to look like if you're interested in this seat. So to recap some of my initial impressions, very firm up here. Obviously, we're going to need to break that in. Love the step up back here. Really locked me into place through acceleration and some of the cornering. Again, it lifts you up a little bit. I have a much better angle with the hip right now. Also, thing to consider, it's a little bit wider. It's going to spread your legs out just a little bit further, change up your feel at stops. I'll give you a look from this side as well. Pretty excited to put on some more miles with this thing. Like I said, just a quick scoot to kind of see how it feels, what I'm in store for. Liking it so far from looks and functionality. So I think that is going to wrap this one up for now. Like I said, I just wanted to get the seat on, get some of those initial first impressions, get some feedback from everybody out there, what they think of the LePera Kickflip Seat. If you are interested in it, if you have any questions on it, let me know. If you have any experience with it, LePera or any of their seats, also feel free to let me know there. So far, those are some of my first impressions on thoughts on the seat at this time. So that is going to wrap it up for now. As always, make sure you ride safe out there, guys. Be a friend, tell a friend, stop by, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and as always, we will catch you on the next one. Make it a good one, guys. It's the Moto John. We'll see you all on down the road. Peace.